With the final SmackDown heading into WrestleMania 33, tensions are high and a whole lot has gone down. We witnessed a contract signing, the return of a major female wrestler adding herself to the SmackDown Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. We witnessed The Miz and John Cena in one final epic encounter, and on top of that, more Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal participants and another epic encounter between Wyatt and Orton, possibly the most bizarre and creepy one to date. What the hell happened this week? We're going to cover all this and more in this week's edition of the SmackDown Rebound. Hello everybody, my name is Conor, aka OKayFabe, your official SmackDown video correspondent for OneWrestling.com, and of course, One Wrestling Video's YouTube channel, and welcome back to another fantastic edition of the SmackDown Rebound. Of course, you guys know me, I'm Conor, aka OKayFabe, and thank you guys for tuning back in as we're going to cover everything from this week's edition of SmackDown Live for March 28th, 2017, the go-home show heading into the ultimate thrill ride, WrestleMania 33. It's going to be crazy, it's going to be huge, it's going to be insane, and we're going to cover all the juicy details for you on this week's edition of SmackDown Rebound. Now, before I get to the whole ordeal, before I get to the review, don't forget, we like to hear what you guys have to say. So make sure to leave your thoughts on this week's SmackDown down in the comment section. Make sure you follow myself and the entire OneWrestling.com family on social media, including myself at OKayFabe, my YouTube channel, youtube.com/OKayFaber. Of course, we got Big Ray, Billy Ray, Valentine, everyone over at the Big Slam Nation. Of course, Sunday Segue, Lisa the Poet, and of course, how can we forget the legendary, the iconic Mr. Bill Apter. Make sure you follow all their social media links are down in the description box below. Hit the thumbs up button if you guys like these SmackDown Rebounds, and of course subscribe for more awesome content from all of us here at OneWrestling.com. Whew, man, the ultimate thrill ride is just a mere 5 days away. WrestleMania week, WrestleMania season is in the air. It's almost better than spring in some ways. It's WrestleMania. It's what we wrestling fans live for, and SmackDown definitely made me excited. It made me hyped for the biggest show of the year, which usually is one of my biggest things with a lot of these shows, both Raw and SmackDown respectively. The big job of these shows is to get me excited, to get me hyped for the pay-per-view that's coming up in the future. Well, the next pay-per-view that's coming up this Sunday, and obviously this one's WrestleMania, and as you can tell from the hyperness in my voice, I don't even know if hyperness is a word, I'm excited! But enough jibber-jabber, let's break down exactly what went down. First and foremost, we started with Daniel Bryan announcing and basically being the mediator for the contract signing between AJ Styles and Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. Now, a lot of people, yours truly included, figured there would be some sort of added special stipulation to this encounter between AJ Styles and the commissioner of SmackDown Live, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to be the case. Shane talking off things, saying he wanted to create a land of opportunity for SmackDown, and he had a vision for SmackDown, mentioning that AJ was a huge part of that vision. He said he still thinks AJ is one of the best in the world, even, of course, phenomenal. He recaps all his success, even winning the WWE Championship, but he then became arrogant, saying that AJ, what cost him his title and his title shot was ultimately AJ's own ego. He says no matter who Shane faces, he always brings out the best in that person, whether it be, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Undertaker, even last year. Shane says that whenever he faces someone, he forces his opponent to dig deep within himself and warns AJ to do the same, otherwise he's going to win at WrestleMania. AJ says this is a traditional match, not some sort of crazy out there match, so could get disqualified. He could get counted out, but he'll win no matter what type of match it is. He said that while Shane's been in the ring with all these greats, he hasn't been in the ring with AJ Styles. He says that at WrestleMania, he's going to find out how phenomenal he truly is. As we see a potential fisticuffs come into blow between these two, Daniel Bryan actually gets in between them and says, listen, in the respect of fairness and try to level and smooth everything out, let's shake on it. And I thought he was going to ask him to hug it out, first of all, because, the hug in the team, hell no. But instead, AJ just reluctantly does not shake hands and actually bows out and just rolls out of the ring. I think literally this might be the first, if not the only time, a contract signing in wrestling history, and at least recent wrestling history, has gone peacefully. And that's usually like an understatement. That's a little, wow. Go figure on that one. Anyway, we see the first official matchup, Becky Lynch versus Carmella. Fortunately, this matchup does not last long as Alexa Bliss and Mickie James make their way to ringside, start battling it out amongst themselves. The match gets thrown out and instead gets restarted as Becky Lynch and Mickie James against Carmella and Alexa Bliss in tag team action. The heels corner Mickie to start, but then Natalya makes her way to the ring. Back from the commercial break, the heels still in control with Natalya, of course, on commentary. Doesn't really last a whole hell longer as, of course, Natalya makes her way to the apron, distracting Becky Lynch, who is working on Carmella in the apron, or the turnbuckle area. Basically allowing, getting a distraction, allowing Carmella, and more importantly, Ellsworth, to trip Becky Lynch, allowing Carmella to get a a quick schoolboy victory and a pinfall over Becky Lynch. Therefore, of course, that didn't really suit so well with Natalya, as all three women, Alexa Bliss, Carmella, and Natalya, start stomping out on both Mickie James and Becky Lynch. But it doesn't last too long, as a returning Naomi comes back and does probably one of the craziest head scissors takedowns I have ever seen. She did it while she was running down the ramp to Natalya, almost dropping her on her head. It was astounding. I never seen anything like that before. Of course, Naomi comes in, absolutely cleans house, takes out Carmella, and also takes out Alexa Bliss. She then gets on the microphone and announces that not only has she returned, but she will also be entering into the SmackDown Women's Championship match at WrestleMania, and says that she can't wait for her hometown Orlando to feel the glow. Whew, I mean, talk about a return. That was just, c'est magnifique. I'm so glad. I was kind of hoping, I hadn't heard any details as far as whether or not Naomi had been medically cleared in time to compete for WrestleMania, but now she has, she's in, and I'm rooting for her at WrestleMania. I mean, that was just, now that's how you do a return. Anyway, we see a fun little segment with Breezy Bella, yes, Tyler Breeze's Breezy Bella, coming and asking about to be added to the SmackDown Women's title match. Of course, Daniel doesn't buy it, and then once he reveals himself, he goes, oh, Tyler Breeze, where'd you come from? It was just a funny skit. Anyway, he offhandedly mentions that there's a 10-man tag team match later on, and then he's adding Breezango officially into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Next up is probably, in my opinion, probably the best segment of SmackDown this entire week. Miz TV is next, showing more of the Total Bella Bull. I can't say it. I can't. We have sponsors. We have censorships. I have a contract. I don't want to break the contract yet. No, I don't want to break the contract ever. Point being, we see more of the continuation of Miz playing as John Cena and Nikki Bella being portrayed by Maurice, and it's just as funny as it was last week, with, of course, Miz pouting his chest about house rules, and eventually Nikki Bella proposes to John Cena, and John says no. I mean, it's just even funnier because Miz comes in dressed as Daniel Bryan, but he's like half his height. He's asking for a juice box. It's really funny stuff. But towards the end, Miz actually cuts and actually does his own, he becomes himself. He actually gets very serious and says, your life is a lie. Everything about you is a joke. And at WrestleMania, you're gonna lose. Nikki's going to dump you, and this whole thing, the whole charade, your life is over as you know it. Of course, this doesn't take long for John Cena to come out, who, in my opinion, has been on fire lately as far as his promo skills. I don't think John has ever had bad promos now that I think about it, and it's not to say that any of his promos have been crappy, but for some reason, these last few ones, and not just with The Miz, in the last, couple of months or so, I think maybe since the Royal Rumble, it's just been amazing stuff that he's been dishing out. I mean, John basically coming out and I can't even do anything, Jesse. He fires on all cylinders from this, mentioning how The Miz is being hypocritical, blaming him for leaving to go do movies when Randy Orton's done it, Dean Ambrose has done it, and even The Miz has done this exact same thing. He's also knocking Maurice for saying the only reason Maurice was brought back to the WWE was because Miz wanted to be on Total Divas, and even knocks them about not having, it was just on point, great stuff from John Cena. Nikki barely even saying a word. Ultimately, John says, you want to throw down? Let's throw down, even sticking his chin out, asking Miz to take the first punch. Nikki more or less doing the same thing with Maurice. Of course, reluctantly, they don't do so. It was just, it was such good intensity. This is what I was hoping for this final segment between these guys heading into WrestleMania. This is what I was praying for. This is what I was hoping for, because anytime Miz and Cena lately have been on the microphone together in the ring, it's been gold. And it's really, for a feud that you wouldn't expect John and Miz to be involved with heading into the grandest stage of them all, the Ultimate Thrill Ride, comparatively to where they've been in the past. Miz usually Intercontinental, John Cena usually in the top, in the championship feuds. This really has garnered my interest and intrigue, and I cannot wait to see what exactly goes down at WrestleMania. I think it's going to be really a treat to watch, especially when Maurice gets in the ring. I'm really curious to see how she's done. I'm sure she's still in she looks like she's in great shape. It's curious to see how the ring rust might be affected her since she hasn't been in an actual match since her return to the company. We see the 10-man tag, as I mentioned before, American Alpha, Heath Slater, Rhino, and Mojo Rawley against the Usos, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Breezango, and Dolph Ziggler. They did mention that all 10 of these men will indeed be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. It's kind of a shame that it looks like we will not be seeing the SmackDown Tag Team titles defended at WrestleMania. As I mentioned to you guys last week, we had a killer match between the American Alpha and the Usos, and part of me selfishly wanted to have that match again at WrestleMania. Sadly, it won't be the case. Mojo essentially gets the hot tag in, and then just all chaos breaks loose. Everyone's just tossing everyone outside the ring. Of course, it comes down to Mojo, who's still a legal man against Tyler Breeze, and just does this vicious, tackle to Tyler Breeze that just knocks him out flat and picks up the win for himself and his team. Pretty interesting stuff. Main event time, Bray Wyatt against Luke Harper. Harper actually looked absolutely incredible in this matchup. Needless to say, he's always been looking incredible lately in terms of any match that he's been in. Interesting to note that he does not have the white undershirt now. It's all black, which I kind of dig. It's nice because it represents a change of him being on his own, as he did cut a promo earlier in the evening mentioning how he's going to be on his own now. And then he doesn't need Bray Wyatt. Harper gets some speed in. Wyatt kind of takes back over, but Harper just did absolute phenomenal work on Bray Wyatt, utilizing the speed and power combination, doing 2 suicide dives, the vicious discus clothesline, just absolutely fantastic. Big boot, great moves. Harper just looked really, really good in this matchup. Of course, several counters to Harper with the discus clothesline. Wyatt does that weird, creepy stare to Luke Harper, and then springs up, and probably the fastest I've seen Wyatt pull this off, runs in, grabs him, Sister Abigail, 1, 2, 3. It was more, I don't want to say it was completely one-sided, but I was impressed with Bray's speed. I'd never seen him hit the Sister Abigail that quick. It was quite impressive. In any case, afterwards, as Bray's posing with the WWE Championship, we see Randy Orton on the Titantron above him, or around him, standing in the same spot a few weeks ago that we saw him, where he's pouring the ashes of Sister Abigail over himself. Randy Orton taking what appeared to be the sign of the apocalypse symbol that he had used last week. I wasn't sure exactly what that sign was, but drove it into the ground where Sister Abigail laid and said, "I've taken everything from you, and now I'm going to take the WWE Championship at WrestleMania." And probably one of the creepiest things I've ever seen Randy Orton do in his entire career, to close out the show and end SmackDown as we head to the Ultimate Thrill Ride. Wow. Wow. SmackDown did a great job. Now here's the there are some pros and cons and things about this week's SmackDown. What I did truly appreciate is that they drove home pretty much every major SmackDown match for WrestleMania. They gave appropriate time to almost all of them. There were a couple that were missing, but I mean, you had everything here from the Shane AJ match, again, the contract signing. You had the women, of course, on notice. You had the Miz and Maurice against Cena and Nikki Bella. I'm sold on that matchup 100%. Of course, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and closing with the WWE Championship feud was, of course, the key to this whole thing. Of course, the one matchup that we didn't get enough time as far as profile-wise was, of course, Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin for the Intercontinental Championship, but I understand time constraints and whatnot. So my only critique really is that the fact that we're not getting the SmackDown tag team titles defended at WrestleMania this year. That's literally my only complaint. Other than that, SmackDown did exactly what I was mentioning to you guys at the beginning of this video. And it was my concern with these shows when we go into pay-per-views, or more specifically, major pay-per-views, let alone the biggest one of the entire year. So I think SmackDown definitely did a great job between the Wyatt Orton promo, the Miz, which I think the Miz Total Bella stuff is probably some of, if not the best work of his career that he's done as a heel in general in WWE. Just hilarious, on point, just really funny. I'm just thinking back to all the stuff now, like the cue cards. It was just really, really funny stuff. It was great stuff. Great action from the women this week. I was very happy to see the women getting plenty of TV time. Again, and Naomi's return. Naomi's return was just beautifully executed. No complaints whatsoever there. That head scissors, though, my God. Like, if you go back and watch it, just go and watch that part. It was just so impressive, and I'm really rooting for Naomi heading into this one. So it's going to be an interesting WrestleMania. WrestleMania is right around the corner this Sunday. History being made at the grandest stage of them all, and I'd love to hear what you guys thought of this week's SmackDown. What do you guys think of SmackDown? More importantly, what's the favorite match at WrestleMania that you are looking forward to the most? What was your favorite segment of SmackDown? Tell me all this and so much more down in that comment section. Hit us up on the various social media, including myself and the entire OneWrestling.com family, including myself at OKayFabe, at Big Ray Show, Billy Ray Valentine, the entire Big Slam Nation, everyone else, Sunday Segue, and of course the legendary, the iconic Mr. Bill Apter. You can follow all their various social media links down in the description box below. Give a thumbs up if you guys like these SmackDown rebounds. Of course, make sure you subscribe for more amazing content from all of us here at OneWrestling.com and Run Wrestling Videos YouTube channel as we head towards WrestleMania. Thank you guys again for watching. I appreciate the continued love and support. We love you guys here at One Wrestling. WrestleMania, here we come. And to quote the legendary, the iconic Mr. Bill Apter, we will see you at the matches.